So let's just go over the squeeze here. This squeeze is of epic proportions. This happens maybe once a year, you know, maybe once every couple years. This is a crazy, crazy squeeze, not just on GME, but on the ones that we're going to talk about as well, AMC and um, Fubo and GoGo, and so and how we can kind of buy some of this if you're not already in it. If you're not on the, if you guys are familiar with crypto at all, there was a group that were behind Link, Chainlink, LINK is the ticker. There was a group shorting them, and they were advertising saying it's a scam. SEC's coming after them, the whole 9 yards. And then there's this whole cult of Chainlink Marines that came after them and actually bankrupt them. And it's the same principle that is going on here with the Wall Street Bets people. And if I think they're great. Personally, I think these guys are awesome. I mean, take it to them. Take it to them. They take it to us all the time. They set the standards. They say where we go, when we go, and how we do it. I just think it's great. So if you are in GameStop, it just depends on how much you want to YOLO, how much you want to, how much are you willing to risk before you are, before you're, say you're done. It's your risk tolerance, right? And so a couple ways to play this. I played this today. I'm more, I'm not as YOLO. I believe in the cause, but I haven't been in since here. I just got in the cause maybe yesterday. I've started reading about it over the weekend, and it was picking up steam. And I'm not going to say I was the first one on the boat, because I was not. I didn't know what it was. And then as I started reading more and going down the rabbit hole, it's such a cool thing. So I just want to pull up a chart let me actually close all this because we don't need any of it. But the biggest thing here is this chart doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. None of it matters, okay? I'm just talking about ways intraday that you're able to touch it. Now, the odds of it going back to 61 are slim to none as of right now. I want to make sure I say that. Let me see, the 26th, it gapped up and then it came all the way down. I remember this, it was at 80. Thought about buying it here, wanted to see if it was actually for real. It was, obviously, because they bid it back up and they, bid at it. I actually bought the 150 calls right around here. That's what this peaked. And then on the pullback here, I bought the 150s for Friday. As you can see, with Parabolic, it was a nice trade, 50% in like 20 minutes. It was a nice trade for me. If you were to catch me like before I had kids, before it was just me, I'd have YOLO'd this thing hard. I'd have put like 50 to 100K in it, and I would have ran it. But I can't do that. The situation for everybody's different. But where I'm saying that you can actually buy GME, and I understand price fluctuations. I mean, this is crazy. Look at these 10-minute wicks. Like, this is a $20 wick in 10 minutes. Like, that's crazy. This is crazy stuff. But you can tell that there's buying pressure all the way up through here, because as they try to get more lows, they buy it right back. They try to push it down, they buy it right back. They push it down, even on the open, push it down, buy it right back, push it down. I mean, it just keeps going. So for me, what I'm looking at, you got to look at the peak of this right now is 159.18. It's at I think it's at like 220-ish. Let's check it out on Thinkorswim here. 209. So it's at 209, which would make it, it's all the way up here. So it's super hard to buy this now. So what strategy am I going to use tomorrow? So there's no pattern to this other than these guys are trying to get short to cover some of their positions, but they can't. There's also people that are, retailers that are getting in on it, and everybody's talking about it and all that. But this is buying pressure. So what I'm trying to find a bottom wick here on the 10-minute that I can get to. And most of those times it's a halt, or it's a stop. So when they sell this thing, it halts the trading because of quote unquote protection, right? So what I want to do is I want to be watching for all those GME stops. I'll have it on my screen, the whole 9 yards. But the GME stops, when it says it's stop trading, that's your time to buy it. If it says stop trading because of volatility, that means it went down, not just because it went up. If it went up and it stopped, that's great. You still buy it because it's probably going to go higher. But this right here, there's a lot of sell pressure on it because these big hedge funds, A, they don't want you to win. B, they're losing a lot of money, so they're trying to cover it and they're trying to gang together. This is a gang candle, in my opinion. This is a gang candle. These are gang candles. These are gang candles going up. These are gang candles going down. So this is some people taking profits, but really, I think it's that sell pressure because people don't want to get screwed from the $1 billion hedge funds, which I understand their point of view, but I think they've been market making for years. They've been out here telling us what to do. They dump on us every chance they get. It's okay for us to win. Honestly, we should be winning. So on GME here, from now on, anytime there's a halt in trading, once it resumes, you buy it. You buy it. Now, you only use stuff. You only use the amount of money that is equivalent to your risk tolerance. So if you're afraid of losing $1,000 and you have a $1,200 account, don't do it. If you have a $500 account and you want to risk $50, you can't afford it, but you can do it. So that's going to be my strategy. I'm going to look for the stoppage when it sells, or maybe we get a gift and it sells off back to 150. I mean, you never know. You have to understand that anything you go into this is going to go to zero. And this is not like I'm disclaiming this to you. This is what I live by. I don't take trades unless I'm willing to lose that money. You have to understand that it goes to zero. I'm going to be trading options on it. I'm going to try to scalp it. I'm not trying to hold it overnight because as soon as this thing gets to where it wants to, and Momo slows down a little bit, it's going to fall right on. Now, this is going to be, if it gets to 1,000, it's a good short right there. If it gets to 500 and it flattens out, or there's a little bit of basing, or it starts to fall down, we'll see. But puts can work. That's the thing. You can do puts and calls on this and still win, but you got to be quick on the trigger on the puts, because what happens is you get shot up real quick. So AMC, I was going to play it for tomorrow. There's some people that have been tooting that they've been in it for months, and that's cool. Like, I'm cool with that. I haven't been. So same thing, same principle here. I expect AMC to get halted tomorrow. So it's already up here. It's already way, way, way up here. I expect some profit taking because it's not going to have the momentum of GameStop yet, because there's still a lot of people sitting in GameStop from the Wall Street bets of the Robin Hooders and all those people. So I'm going to be looking at this to come back a little bit. If it gets to 6, it might spike to 9, come down to 6, go back up to 9, come back down to 5, go back up to 7. Anytime it spikes down, I'm going to be looking to scalp this. I am not scared to throw some money at, going to the 7 calls or 8 calls if it's at between 5 and 6. If it doesn't get there, I'm going to wait for a dip and I'll go into the 9s. Not scared. You can't be scared with this type of stuff. GoGo. He was hit on cheddar flow really, really hard today. It was I don't know why my keyboard's not lighting up, but look at this flow. I mean, look at this. This is all day. Absolutely all day. And it pretty much stayed in the 14, 15 range. This was a great buy. Whoever bought this right here, they loaded up. And a lot of people are buying dated calls, which of course I think GoGo only goes to 219. Let's find out. You guys are literally looking at how I look at stuff that I have no idea about. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so February 19th. I mean, it's at 1725. So the 18s were 95 cents for that. I mean, this is cheap. Jesus, that's super cheap. We'll see what happens to GoGo. That's interesting tomorrow. I wouldn't mind flying into the 20s if they're between 80 and 90 cents tomorrow, but the IV is going to be, IV is going to be through the roof on this stuff. Just want to see it real quick. Yeah. By the way, this is my fake account for all you guys. This is just like I don't use the Thinkorswim for my stuff. I'm an E-Trade guy personally. So GoGo, same thing. I'd like for it to come down to 13 or 14. It's not happening though. I mean, you're already all the way up here. This is all-time highs, beyond all-time highs. So you're already here. Any dip, which we might get at FOMC tomorrow with JPOW, might get it. Same principle, dip and then buy. I'm going to be scalping it. I'm not trying to hold this overnight. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just trying to play it. And if the Momo's there, cool. And I think that's the best way to go about it right now. So Fubo, another huge short squeeze here. All the members that we have should be in Fubo in some way, shape, or form. We our philosophy for you that aren't familiar, we build swing trades, whether that's 4 to 6 weeks, 6 months out, 7 months out, whatever that is. There's a structure of building a swing trade, and then what we do, we don't go all in on it. We build a core position, and then we start trading around that position, meaning that we bought Fubo back here. Oh, this is a 10-minute. Let me show you guys. I'll show you how the whole plan came to fruition here. Clear Skies Cafe. I told you guys, told members that are in here, you guys saw this. Once it got into the clear skies, it wants to stay. We were in Fubo on this gap down, I think somewhere right here. I let it gap down. We let it touch the 50, let it kind of buy and reclaim a little bit. And we bought it somewhere in 29 to 28. We loaded up the February 35s and the February 40s, February OPEX. So we're already up 120%, no, 140% now, and 100% on those two calls. 35s are 140, the 40s are 100%. Or maybe they're 90. They're somewhere there. They're doing pretty well. Fubo's already at, let's see here. Fubo after hours 46.60, 46.80. Okay. So a little trick that I'm giving you guys free tricks here. This is what the people in Alpha Traders, the members, they learn this stuff and they start seeing it for themselves. But at roughly, I was in chat and I was talking about, let's take this and move this real quick. All right. So it opened here. Fubo was open here. When it dipped, we bought some calls today. We bought the 42s right about here. And then it popped and fell off. And then we bought the 40s literally right at here at 39.12. I was in there going, hey, if you buy this, I'm going to buy this here. I'm buying this. And the reason I said it, there was a spread on this. And it's not going to show here. But just think about at that point, the 40s, these 40s, they're 530 now. I sold mine at 100%. I think it was 100% or so. Good day trade. We're trading around our core position of Fubo. We're trading around it. So we bought at the bottom here, but at that time, the 40s were, $2 and they were like $2.50 or something, right around there, I think. And I was saying in chat, these are messed up. These premiums, like they already know. They're already saying that 42.50 happens. That means 44 happens if 42.50 happens. And these premiums, I mean, you look at it, if you go right here at 40, I mean, it has it at 47, but it's priced at 44 or whatever it was at close. What was it at close here? 3 p.m. I'm Central Time, so closed at 43.65. So these are 43.65 prices. The 43s are $3.75. This was a $44 stock with $3 premiums with 3 days to go. That's a lot. That's a lot. They're elevated. They should be about $2, $2.50, and they're elevated all the way to $3.35. So that tells you right there that the premiums are getting pumped into it. So now I know that there's premium. I'm watching the spread, and I'm watching the call put spread here as it pops and goes. And you gotta watch it fast. And you start seeing these patterns that start showing up. There's also a couple other hints that I keep for members, but you start seeing that in here. Now going back to Fubo today, intraday. Now that I knew that premium was moving and the premium was sticking, it wasn't leaving, it was sticking. So hold on. I gotta kick this person out. Sorry. So at this lowest low here, the premiums weren't getting sucked out. They just weren't. And when I saw that the premiums weren't getting sucked out, that means the masses don't think that it's going. Also, the open interest was actually growing as this popped in. So that told me right there, I thought it was here is going to be the bottom, about 40, because 40.40 was a good support. And again, this is the only thing I really use charts for. It's good visual so people can see it. But 40.40 was this resistance here, 40.13. This was 40.40. This is kind of like the gap area. It got above and it was holding this area. So I was thinking it's a good place to, it's a good place to go long. And that's where we went on the 42s. Thing is, though, it pulled into here and then reclaimed and took it. So that's a way, if you're still learning, that's how a lot of market makers get you, is they try to get you with this little reclaim action constantly. This little touch of, you have a resistance. Oh, well, what was the bottom of this? 38.63. So I was using 40.40, which was here, bought it right about here. And then they said, oh, well, we were just playing. We're going to go back down. We're going to see who stop losses we hit, plus who's going to capitulate. And that's why steal hands and expect zero are so important, because this is what they do to you. The line's actually right here, 40.40. You'll see it right here. This is the line. They dip below. They'll play with you. Look, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was an hour. It was an hour of dipping below, seeing who's going to capitulate, who can't hold. And if you held, you got through it, and they retested that, tried to push it down more. They couldn't. Now you have higher lows. Now you know you're about to go off. So just a couple things there. But Fubo, again, Fubo is the same thing. Through 50, I want to say 52, I think my number is. Let me look at this real quick. 50.66. That's this little bit here. You could even say 51.64. So we'll say 52, because there's this little gap here. This little gap on the gap up on that day it went to all-time highs. If it opens above 51.70, it'll dip down and then it'll rip up. If it opens up here at 50, it probably neanders, goes down a little bit, rips back up and goes. If for some reason it drops all the way down to 40.40, I'm going to ape long it that like you won't believe. I hope it gets to 40.40. With FOMC, we have a chance. With JPOW talking tomorrow, we have a chance. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's the good chance that JPOW likes to bring the market down with him. That's the type of dude he is. You literally can just buy puts and scalp them when JPOW is talking. So BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, was there today. It was lovely. It's a lovely place. Lovely place with many, many trinkets that you get to buy. Anyways, I bought, there's a couple people in the room that they were in it from the day before or whatnot. That's fine. I bought mine at right here. It was right here. I bought it at 36.48. So it was like right there. At the very end of the day, I just saw the buying pressure. I saw these candles on the 10-minute. I'm like, oh, that's buying pressure. That's thing's going to go. Also, everything looked like it was about to run. So, excuse me. So we just took it and ran, but paid off. Again, it's the same principle. Let it drop, let it get down. You got to think that 47.75 is kind of the number here. If you got to look at a chart and you got to have a number and you got to think 48, good number. But with this pump machine going, you got a lot of room. So I took the 40s, the 40 calls for Friday, expecting a nice big IV jump on it, expecting at least 100% of them. Not if I get 200%, that's even better. So now BlackBerry, this has been the laggard. I thought I've been, kind of down the rabbit hole on Wall Street Bets, which is there's some really good stuff in there, fun stuff. That like BlackBerry's like on their list. It is on their list, and it ran. It was, on the 25th at noon, it was your low, and if you wanted to hold, cool, but I wouldn't have. I didn't. I bought some the day before down here at like 13, and I sold mine up here today or yesterday. But I don't know. I'm not getting the vibe from BlackBerry. Like, look at the volume. And then if you look at like BBBY, there's just different volume here. That's a different total volume pattern than BlackBerry. I'm not seeing, you see the difference? Lower end bars, they tried and it just went sideways. You look at GME, if this is going to be on the squeeze, the volume tells you everything, right? That's a whole different volume profile. You go back to BlackBerry again. I mean, that's why I'm switching through these for you guys real quick. Look at that. Totally different. Let's go to Fubo. I mean, I'm just picking Fubo because it's a short interest one. Again, that volume does not look good, but it ran at the end. This is a good volume candle it got at the end of the day. So you got to kind of choose. Let's look at AMC here. Pick and choose, and the volume's got to tell you, look, this was flat. AMC was flat until, what is that? 220. So towards the end of the day, and then they tried to sell it just to buy it, and they bought it back, and now it's running. So the volume will tell you a lot. Little secret to you guys, the volume is usually greatest in the beginning of the day, and then second greatest at the end of the day. Just FYI, in case you didn't know. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk about it. I think this thing's epic. This is like, this squeeze is going to be the coolest thing ever. I'm not going to lie. You know, they keep telling us that it's bad for the market. It's bad for this. And JP Morgan's, you know, president or not Jamie Dixon, but the guy under him was out here, you know, oh, this is bad for the market and stuff. It ain't bad for the market. It's bad for them. Usually they're the ones targeting. And when you're the one getting targeted, it's a lot different than being the guy who's targeting. I don't know if I said that right, but it's going to be fun. This whole thing's going to be fun. So just wanted to touch base with everybody. Any non-members in here, you know, shoot us a DM, go to alphatraders.com if you want to check it out. Results are there for everyone to see. Members can tell you. We don't mess around. We're not here taking your money. I respect it. And I think it's important that, you know, that people who have services understand that this is people's money we're talking about. This isn't just to play around with and, you know, be a hoo-ha about. So appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys out there. alphatraders.com. Check it out. $21, 21 days, easy stuff.